Hello and welcome to today's Partner Web Conference. This is Fast Track Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations Enterprise Edition Tech Talk. Today's topic, additions to mixed LP receiving. Presenting for us today from Microsoft, we have Senior Program Manager Mirza Abdic. So without any further delay, Mirza, over to you.
Thank you very much, Janice. Hello everyone, my name is Mirza. And I am Senior Program Manager in the Warehousing and Transportation, or as we call it, Distribution team, based in Copenhagen, and it's a part of the Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations Research and Development team. Today, I'm very happy to announce that we have done the feature for mixed LP receiving, that it's including now the scanning and verification of the item, and as well piece by piece scanning of the item. So that will be the topic that we will try to cover today. It's not a large topic, but it is very important, and I will explain the industries that can use this with a big advantage. So today's agenda will cover a few things, and it's a basic agenda that we are trying to use and structure all of our the fast track webinars. And it's first we will try to understand what it's mixed license plate receiving and why did we do this feature, so you are completely clear about where it is supposed to be used and how it is supposed to be set up basically. And then we will, as it says here, cover where it applies, and then we will cover how it is set up. That's in the PowerPoints, and then we will do a demo of the feature on one of the live demo machines. So first, we will try to cover a little bit history about this feature. So it is all about mixed license plate receiving, where you scan items and their barcodes to confirm the item, but please pay attention and quantity. So mixed license plate receiving normally have always been there to allow you to basically take a target license plate, which is the license plate that you want to put your items on in any unit of measure you want, and you are receiving the mixed items in a box or a cage or a container. So the process was that you identify a target license plate, let's just say pallet, and then when that is scanned, you will basically start confirming an item, and after the confirmation of the item, you will basically count how many of these items you have, and then you will be able to add them to an RF gun or barcode scanner as a typing the number of these items you have, and then basically place this on your target license plate that will be used later for the put away. As you know, this process was not that lean, and that's the reason why we have improved this process. It's very important for the both wholesale and retail industry in particular, because the package of mixed packages are being received a lot, but for all industries as well, for the return as well, because when you are receiving a return, you can receive many different items for that. So what we want to do here is to explain that mixed license plate receiving will allow you to build up the license plate, so the target license plate, that consists of the multiple items before you say that you are done, which means that you are signaling to the system to create the work. So from the physical perspective, what will happen that me and maybe a few colleagues are working in the receiving area, and when the pallets are being received or boxes, so on, we will of course open these boxes to be able to scan what we have received, because we need to identify the items. So, and we could also have a different boxes in the different packages that we want to put on the same mixed license plate received. So we will basically count normally in an item physically and say we have received so many variants or item IDs of this kind, and then I will enter that. But that all slows the process because it includes manual counting and sorting. To avoid that, this option gives you that you don't need to split up a license plate when they're receiving. So you need to register each item, but you can put all items on the same license plate. What we want to say also is when you use the item-related flow to identify the source document, you have ability to scan the barcode on the item control, and now that is available. If the barcode has a quantity and unit of measure configured on it, the item and the quantity will automatically be added to the mixed license plate, and the user will be returned to the screen to scan another item. What we are trying to say with this is that imagine that you have set up the barcodes of each box of 10 and pallet or whatever else unit you want to have barcode on. So we're coming back to the Coca-Cola sample from the supermarkets, where you will have ability to buy or possibility to buy one single bottle of Coke or a pack of 6 bottles. Pack of 6 bottles has its own unique barcode, which represents a quantity of 6, as well as the identifier of the item. Scanning the bottle of one bottle, then it will identify that now we are scanning quantity of 1, and it will also be able to verify that we are scanning the correct item. That's exactly what will be able to be done from now. So basically, instead of counting something manually, no matter what unit of measure we receive, as long as it is registered as a known barcode, behind the scenes system will use unit of measure conversions that are set up on the different units of the item, and basically figure out from the barcode. So if I receive a 1 piece, I scan that barcode, it will know that it's a 1 piece increase on my target license plate, and as well, it will verify me the item. If I have a box of these items, which represents 50, if I scan the barcode of the box, what I will be able to see is that I have now added 50 pieces to my target license plate, so my mixed pallet. And at the same time, I will still be able to verify item ID. I'm verifying item ID for every single scan. This allows you and the users in the warehouse to quickly scan all the items without having to confirm at each step. So the mixed license plate receiving flow, it's now way faster, and it has a list button as well, because we have been thinking, well, if you have scanned, imagine you are just keep scanning, and behind the scenes, system figures out for you what you are basically receiving. It could be barcode of the item, it could be. You can also add it manually if for some reason your barcode doesn't work. So you can add the item ID manually, but you should also think that if you are scanning very fast, sometimes you might have scanned the item twice, so you want to correct. So we have also added to the menu flow a correction capabilities, which means that you can quickly go to a button that displays the list of what you have scanned against the open demand source document, which could be a purchase order, returns, or transfer order. We have enabled these for all, and please pay attention that we have now added a support for returns as well. So if I should say something about PO receiving, you could use exactly the same item to do other PO receiving, like a normal one, where you just put the things on one pallet and then you're done with that and you build separate target license plates. You can do that with this as well. So it can kind of support everything, and the best of all is it supports piece by piece scanning with the automatic verification of the item and a quantity that you are adding. And you have capability to reduce manually if you for some reason have scanned twice or several times. So where does it apply? Mixed license plate receiving is a mobile device receiving flow used to register and create work for multiple lines items at once. That's the kind of overall definition of it. And especially it's useful when inbound license plates are received with multiple items on them. So if we imagine that we are receiving the mixed license plate, we want to just transfer it to our own internal barcode. So what I could do, I could basically just take a sticker. It doesn't need to be a new pallet. Sticker represents an internal license plate number. I put it on the pallet that I received, and then I just basically keep scanning the items that are on that mixed pallet. What system will do behind the scenes, it will verify against the open lines and the quantities. The possibility of multiple scans, it's there as well, because we can have more than one employee doing this. If we for some reason want to split on the smaller handling unit, let's imagine we are receiving a big cage and we want to put it to our internal size pallets. I can have a colleague who is doing exactly the same, and we can in the same time simultaneously be receiving using the same menu item on the two different target licenses. Behind the scenes, I have a full overview on my list, what I and what he has scanned against our PO line. I can track the progress. I think that is very clear what we are trying to achieve with this. And the question before the demo is how do we set this up? Well, we all know that already mixed license plate item as such for the menu item for the barcode scanner menu. It's set up as all others with a work, but not the already existing work. It will create work at the end, so it's indirect. And we select then the support for mixed license plate receiving, and then we can select what document this exact menu is supporting, what kind of receiving. There are two work creation processes for it, mixed license plate receiving or mixed license plate receiving and put away. The difference is that the one, it's doing the put away immediately. So if I am registering and I'm done with my pallet and I say I'm done, then I will be asked to process my work immediately. If not, the work will be created for somebody else to be picked up. So it's a similar two-step or single-step process as we have on the other menu items. The options to identify the source document lines are purchase order items, purchase order line, return order, transfer order item, and transfer order line. As you can see, support for returns orders, it's there. So if I have a dedicated area where I want to put all of my returns and then resolve them later, I can be receiving the returns and I can be scanning my RMI code and I can be building my palette up with all of these items that customers might return. And I could basically navigate this palette through because it's a type of return, through my logic of location directives to a dedicated location. But still, I have capability of verifying every single item and quantity by scanning the barcodes if they exist or entering the item. These all can change which order you are receiving against on a single license plate, which means that there is no any logic that forces you to receive items in one or the other way, which means you can constantly jump from one line to another and basically add the quantity. So if we give you an example, it could be that you have item A and B and C on your PO line, and then when you receive, you scan a part of the quantity of the item A, then you jump to the item B, and then basically it's allowing you the flexible just scan by scan capability, and system adds the quantities and verifies the items against the PO. And it does that at every scan. When we have done this menu item, we also make sure that as soon as you have scanned something, your rescanning field will show. So basically, you can just keep scanning with the laser beam on your mobile device. You don't need to jump from one menu to the other or use your typing capabilities to basically restart it again. It's just, you will see that in the menu. The last option is by load item. You can add multiple items to a license plate, but cannot switch between multiple loads. What this means is that when I'm starting to receive, I can jump from one item to another within my document and the load, but I cannot jump across the loads. But that's also how it is existing today. So I guess that with this option, what we enable is basically more lean, more fast mixed license plate receiving that opens some very new capabilities of how efficient and how quick the resolvement of what has been arriving to the mixed license plate can be. With this, I will like to start our demo. So allow me to shift to my demo machine, which is here. And I hope that it's okay. We will start with first the setup of the mixed license plate receiving for you who don't know this functionality probably. So basically, we will go to the menu item. I have already done this for my menu items, and I can just show you that. I already have added on my mobile device a menu item called mixed LP. But of course, for some of you, it will be nice to know how do we create this menu item. So let's go back to dashboard, and under my warehousing tab, I have here mobile device setup, as you probably have seen before. And on my mobile device menu item, I can create a new menu item that will assist me in mixed license plate receiving with the new capabilities of basically using the barcodes of not only the item, but unit of measures and unit of measure conversion capabilities to every time tell me if I'm adding the correct item and in what quantity I'm adding it or receiving it to my mixed license. So you will simply click new. On the menu item name, you can call it mixed license plate receiving. And let's do exactly the same here. So I guess I can copy this. Here we go. And the mode will be work. But as I said, work does not exist up front. So it's as you receive everything else, it is not using existing work, but it's creating work at the end. But it is work-based operation. So under our general tab, we have work creation process. Clicking by that, we have a range of options. And along all of these options, we have something called mixed license plate receiving and mixed license plate receiving in the put away. And as I said before, the difference is that mixed license plate receiving as the PO receiving and PO receiving and put away and PO licensing, PO licensing, put away is that when we scan something and we build our license plate, target license plate, and we're saying we are done, it could be a splitting of the quantity that arrives, so putting the whole thing on the thing. Then the system will basically contact our location directives, flows setup and the work template setup, and it will create a put away work. For this one, we will just create put away work, and then that will need to be initiated again by scanning the license plate to kind of with the put away menu item to put it that away, or we can do it as a single operation. So let's just say we are doing it for the one, and then the new menus are opening, and then here you can basically say, oh, I want to do purchase order licensing, purchase order line receiving, load item receiving, return order receiving, transfer order receiving, transfer order line receiving. That's exactly what we have said in the PowerPoint. So for my testing, I have done purchase order item receiving to show you how does it function. And then you save this. So this is all what you need to do. To show you what we also have done, but I'm showing this just not to get you confused with this, because the mixed license plate is receiving with the piece by piece scanning and quantity increase, it's there out the box. You don't need to do anything. If your barcode are set, you are good to go. So for that, you need some barcodes. So let's go first, and we will look at that in a moment. But first, we want to cover, if you, for some reason, there was another webinar explaining piece by piece picking in general, but if I'm going to my sales picking capability here, you see suddenly for my sales picking capability, work confirmation setup opens up. And here I have some new capabilities that shouldn't be mixed with the mixed license plate receiving piece by piece picking. Reason is that you already have it for the mixed license plate receiving out of box. But wherever has already work existing, which is a work confirmation setup, I can set up the license plate confirmation, product confirmation was there before, but then I have something new called piece picking confirmation. This applies for all outbound picking flows, for cluster picking, for picking of the, and so on and so on. But I have added also in this spring release, we have added the batch confirmation. There was a webinar about that last time. Please go ahead and look at. And we also have had a webinar about piece by piece picking. But I'm showing this just not to get a confusion. If some of you should open this menu on of your demo machines, and you should not get confused that you do need to add this in order to have mixed license plate receiving, being able to scan code by code or barcodes and increase the quantity. You don't need to. It's there out of the box. For your outbound picking operation, you will need to do a select box here on the menus for the picking, like in this case, sales order picking. Okay, for all of this to function, of course, we need some barcodes, and I will explain a little bit about enhancements there. So for that reason, let's go to the release product. I apologize, sometimes my demo machines are remotely accessed from US and I'm sitting in Europe, and sometimes, and we are in the demo pool not having the most performant machine, so just give me please a second. For some reason I have a little issue here. Please bear with me. So here we go. So if I go to the released products, I have some Skype delay as well when I'm sharing the screen. with my keyboard. I'm clicking, but Skype does not. So if I say release and then products, here we go, release products, product information, and then we have two items we will be using for this test. It's A001 and A002. Let's have a look what I have set up on these two in order to be able to show you the barcode-based receiving and quantity increase. So for the mixed license-based receiving. So as you can see, I can set up something called barcodes here that you probably have known before. And I will do that for this item A001. So I will say new. And I did not do this before. I just want to show you how you do this. So I select the barcode. In my case, I will select GS128 because that gives me ability to just call this 11234. And it is for one quantity of piece. I could here add pallet, one box of something, small box, large box, and so on. And if I have unit to measure conversion, which I will normally do, the system will automatically use that, and it didn't do that before. Now it does this for both piece picking on outbound and mixed license plate receiving, put away and receiving. So it will know that if I scan a box barcode on the box that you might have received from your vendors, because some companies do have capabilities of asking vendors to mark the items to the correct item unit to measure barcodes, then it will know that now I'm receiving one box and box equals whatever in each is. So it will increase your quantity on your mixed license. So for this purpose, we will just have this 1, 2, 3, 4 to show you and then please do always remember to set up scanning to yes, otherwise it will not work. And I have met a bunch of people who have told me that it doesn't work because this checkbox was forgot to be set. And we will do exactly the same now for the item A002, which is this one. And I will try to do a PO for the both of them and then do the mixed license-based receiving to show you how that works. So with this one, we'll have slightly different barcode, of course, which will be 2345. So let's just do that. And and as you can see, you can also do the variants here. So we'll see here barcode this one, and I will call it 2345. The other one was called 1234. And it's one piece. I save it. Now basically I'm ready to demo the mixed license-based receiving where you will see increase in the quantity. So I have a menu item, I have a barcode set up, so now I need some purchase orders. So I will quickly create a new purchase order. And I apologize that I didn't do this on purpose before, but because I think that people should see exactly what's happening. So we will just select one of the suppliers, and we will add two products, A001 and A002, in different quantities. And then you will see if I receive these two products in the same box as mixed items or on the same pallet, I can quickly, by scanning the barcodes, I will be typing them, of course, because I'm not sitting here physically with the barcode scanner, but you will get an idea of how does it work. So we have an item A0001. That is on the side 2 and warehouse 24, because that's the one that I'm using for my demo. And I want to receive 5, just to show you. And I just say save this one. And I want another product on another line. It will be A002. Here we go. So we are basically building several items on the PO that are different and that will be received on the same license plate or in the different boxes, doesn't matter. But I want to put them on the same target license plate, which is my mixed license. So I will say I have 3 of these items, and I will save this. So as you can see, I have a purchase order. I need to remember this number. Normally I will have that as a scanning capability. So I will go to my menu item, and I will say mixed license receiving. It is asking me, of course, to scan my license plate that I will be using to put this mixed license plate together, or to add the items that I'm scanning constantly from these received items. So let's just call it whatever you need, which will be Mirza 1. It's easy to remember because it's my name. And it says, please enter the PO number. Why does it say this? Because if you remember, we have selected the PO number or PO receiving when we created our menu items. So I will say we. Now this was our PO. And then it says, please scan the item. So it will be basically scan, scan, scan. If you imagine, I'm typing, but in the RF gun, it will be scan, scan, scan. And it also, of course, it's enabled for the newest native app for Android and the universal Windows app we have released for the barcode scanning. So it has been tested and it will work there as well with the new design. So this is the demo mode of my machine. So I'm using direct class processing of the barcode scanner. So now we had an item, and if you remember, item A001 was registered with the barcode 1234. So let's try that. And I will be, of course, scanning this normally, right? Say, okay, boom. And then it says scan more. So I can keep scanning. But now I say, well, next item I have fetched from the box, or it's a box of the other item, or a single the other item, which was A002. And I will scan its barcode, which is 2345, and I say, okay. And then it says, oh, product identifier not found. And reason for this could be because I was so fast that I have forgot to say scan on the general. So let's see that again. So if we go to the release products again and quickly find the A002, I guess that I have forgot to set up the checkbox to enable the scanning of this item. I have my code, as we can see, and on my general, I do not have scanning. Now I have demonstrated what happens for you if you forgot this scanning box to be set. I need to say edit, and then I say scan yes. I'm just trying to make trouble on purpose so you can see what's going on. So mixed license per stream, we go back. Now we corrected our data, and I'm still in the scanning field, please. See that. So 234. Now I scan the barcode again, and now it's okay. So I want to scan the first one again. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I say, okay. So I keep scanning, keep scanning, keep scanning. Every time it verifies validity of the item, quantity through the unit of measure conversion, and the barcode that has been scanned. There is a new button that we try to explain called show list. Entering there, I have full visibility of that I'm now receiving against line 1 and 2. If I have more lines, I'll be able to view that. And I can see the ones that are started to be received against. So I have a PO line quantity 5 for the item A001. LP quantity, which means my LP quantity now, it's 2. Why? Because I scanned this item twice. And then I can see that I'm on the PO line quantity. I have 3 and I have 1. Of course, we do check everything about over delivery and stuff, so you will be asked that you cannot over receive if that is not allowed. So all of this should work for you. Anyway, if I want to modify this, I can click modify, then I can select which line I want to modify on. So let's try that. There's line to modify 1. I hope that this will not be needed to be done many times, but you can do it. So it says, okay, what is the quantity on line 1? So I say it's a 1, because maybe I have received only one item, but for some reason I was too fast, so I scanned it twice. And I can say, okay, there we go. So going to the show list now will show me that I have only one item scanned. So I have adjusted before I do my put away work. I go back to my item screen and I keep scanning. So let's try to scan something bad, which is an item that has been received, but it's not on this PO line, and it might have even the barcode registered. And if I say, okay, what I will receive is that product identifier not found, which means that either the barcode doesn't exist, item does not exist on your PO lines, or your checkbox is small, a very important checkbox was not being checked that you allow scanning of the barcode. So let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scanning the correct items. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can obviously jump forward and backwards as I want through these items, and it will resolve the lines behind the scenes. So I have here now received 4 out of 5 and received 1 of the other items. So let me just shuffle a little bit so you can see that it works. 2, 3, 4, 5. I scan the other again, and I scan the other again, and then I scan enter, and then I scan the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So if I say show list, scan 3 of 3, scan 5 of 5, right? So let me start to scan more. I take the same item that I already scanned and try to scan more. System will tell me that there is no quantity left to receive for this item on this PO. It will say the same for the TO, it will say the same for the returns, which means that something is wrong, right? Either I'm scanning items twice, which I should not, and then what I can do, I can say I want to complete this LP. So show the list, 5, 5, 3, 3, I'm fine, okay? And I say I'm good to go, so I have scanned all the items and I'm ready to create a work. I say LP complete. It shows me this one more time to say, are you not sure that you have scanned these quantities? Yes, I am. And then I say, okay. And this now will take these quantities that are on the pallet, of course, assess your PR lines, and it will do a put away work. It says work completed. So let's now see what's going on with my work. I have a purchase order open work for my purchase order now, right? And you're looking at this. Let's see what happened. I have FL001, FL005. We have 2 locations, and reason is just to show you that my LIX license plate receiving can go into 2 locations depending where I want to put my items on, right? And or it can be put away as a same not fixed location setup so you put a whole license plate to the same thing. So now somebody will be able to come in, scan that mixed license plate. They will be asked to go to the location FL001, put 5 pieces of this item there, and put the other items somewhere else. That could be also, as I said, one-step operation if you have selected to do so through your menu item setup. Now you have seen the secrets that are a little bit hidden, but very powerful in the new way of mixed license plate receiving. And as I said again, to repeat myself, we added support for the returns as well. Please see the other webinars that we have already held. One was for the piece-by-piece picking, doing exactly the same for all of the outbound operations, but you need to set it up on the work, the confirmation on the menu item. And we also have had a webinar of the batch processing improvements that it's also very worth of watching, and it's online there through the link that was published before. So with this, I will jump back to my PowerPoint. Let me just minimize my server here, and I will continue with my PowerPoint. So I just want to, before we round up this and open for questions, I just want to tell you that we have 3 very useful sites that I will encourage everyone to keep looking a couple of times a week. I know that it's probably not a good night and sleep well reading for some of you, but please do so. We do publish very interesting things that could help you in the daily setup and operations of this powerful yet complex piece of software that we have. So I want you to go to the first one, which is our team blog. And the team blog does cover more or less everything about warehousing and distribution. So we have everything about TMS, we have everything about, and lots of blogs about technical things like inventrans and transactions and whatnot, quality management, short peaking, everything around distribution centers and distribution in general. The second one in the middle, it's a roadmapdynamics.com. This is the official site of the Dynamics teams, not only our, but all teams, where we do publish what we have accomplished recently, what we will be accomplishing soon, and what we are working on right now. Now, why should you go there? You cannot register anything there, but you can get yourself familiar with all of the functionality that is constantly being added through our agile process, and then you can see what we will be doing in the future and what we are doing right now, and then see if that is if it's a capability you need for your customers. That will also let you avoid maybe doing some customizations that are soon coming there or already are to be released. Then if you are unsatisfied what we are doing right now and what we have just done and what we will be doing, you are more than welcome, and please do so. Together with your customers, you are welcome to go to ideasdynamics.com and ideas, as you can see, site, which opens for the general worldwide feedback. And we take this very seriously in the R&D. What we do, we read your comments, we read your votes, and we read and answer your comments, which means that you will see me or other colleagues basically answer some of your asks, if that can be already solved, but you did not know for some reason, or we will give you if we have some progress right now on that feature and so on and so on. And what we also do, we do read all of your suggestions. We do see how many times people have voted of these improvement suggestions. And then we do take that seriously as other sources in reshuffling and reprioritizing our backlog. So the idea side gives you the direct influence for you and your customers of how our R&D development will be working in the future. Of course, we cannot guarantee that highest voting feature will be done first because there are some other circumstances that play a role. But you will see constantly a system being improved following your feedback, because we are today, after all, customer and partner driven. So thank you for today, and I hope that what I presented was clear and loud and understandable, and I hope that you will join further and the webinars, fast track webinars we have in the future. Thank you and have a nice day.
All right. Thank you, Mirza. We do have a couple questions, and before we do get to those, I'd like to share out that survey URL. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see that survey URL on the left-hand side of your screen. That's the link to a short survey for this web conference, and we ask that you please take a moment before logging out to access it. We hope that you found today's information helpful, and if you enjoyed today's web conference or have feedback on how we can provide you with a better event, this is your chance to let us know. The survey scores are on a scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest score possible. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn over to Q&A. And our first question is this being backported to AX 2012 R3? If yes, any idea when?
So the piece by piece picking and all of the functionality we have done for the warehousing improvements for fall release and the summer or spring release, as we call it, will be backported. And what we do, I will encourage everyone to join a Yammer group that we have, if you already did not. And if you want to join the Yammer group, where we do announce all of the KBs and the backporting capabilities that we do, please do so. And the way of joining it is to write the mail to me, which will be mirzaab@microsoft.com. So again, mirzaab@microsoft.com. And I will make sure that you, free of charge, are a member of our very vibrant Yammer group where we do all of these announcements. And of course, you need to keep up looking at the KB articles constantly, and they are also announced, I guess, through our SE organization when available. So yes, the things are backported and will be backported. All of the spring things are not backported yet. We will do so, but we have not scheduled the date. So keep tuned, and yes. Next question.
All right, excellent. Next question is, if going to 2 locations for the put away and both are LP controlled, do you need to provide a second LP value?
Yes, because you have only one carrying license plate, and you will need to provide the new license plate that you are putting the items on the first location if the both are license plate control. Otherwise, you cannot store it, and the one that you are carrying on will be kept to the end. So yes, it's a very good question. Thank you for asking. And yes, if they are not license plate controlled, of course, you will just be able, and I will be asked to put the quantities on the locations, and your moving target license plate should vanish, kind of not be active anymore because it's used.
All right, and that is the last question that we have. So with that is going to conclude today's web conference. Attendees may access the web conference recording via the same registration link used to attend today's live broadcast. I'd like to extend a big thank you to our presenter, Mirza, and thank you, audience, for logging in and joining us today.